Hey everybody, it is Monday before Heroes Con 2017. I'm trying to get my commissions wrapped up. I probably will be finishing them probably Wednesday. But just finished up a Rodimus Prime, my sketch cover. I've got 3 sketch covers to do. I've got to start coloring another one, which is this one, which is a RC Scarlet, and then I've got one more to do. And then 2 9x12 feet anyway. So I'm getting there. It's a crazy week because I go down to Heroes Con a day early to set up, and that gives me 3 days to work this week. So if you're going to be at Heroes Con, I'm at table AA617. And I'll be set up with my studio mates, and we have big blue banners on our tables that say Tsunami Studios. So come by. I'll have lots of prints. I'll have comic books, and remember, I'm giving away 50 comics to the first 50 people that come by and want them. Of William the Last, the first chapter of my creator-owned book. So I will also be doing sketches. So there's the commercial for Heroes Con. You know, if you do conventions a lot and you're trying to network, it used to be, and it kind of still is, that you'd always go to the hotel bar, and at Heroes Con, this is the Westin bar that usually everybody ends up at. And when I first started, you'd go down to the bar to try to network, right? So over the years, what I've found about that whole thing is that people at the bar typically are hanging out with people they already know. And it's really hard to kind of, just walk up and network. It kind of has to happen naturally. I made some pretty good contacts at other, places just hanging out. The thing about Heroes Con is that the Westin bar is insanely loud. Like, you can't really talk, you're just screaming at each other. So I kind of quit going by there. Heroes Con for me it's close to home, and I've said before, it was the first show I ever did. So it's kind of like every year. I mean, I know so many people there, and a lot of people from locally are around. So we'll go down and we'll get together and we'll hang out. And usually we end up at the Hilton or the outside somewhere. So I've been doing it for so long. I know all the little spots to go, and if I want to go to a less insane place. But networking for me, I'm not a extrovert or it doesn't come easily to try to network. And the biggest thing, if you're like me, and a lot of you may be, the biggest thing I can tell you that's helped me, the only thing, is just keep showing up. And you come away from a show for however many years and you feel like you've gotten nowhere, but over time, for someone like me, you build up those relationships and you get to know people, and eventually they introduce you to other people, and it's a very much slower process. There are people I know who just have the gift of networking and stuff, and God bless them. I'm not one of them. But I can just, get up, go to the show, and show up. That I can do. And sometimes if you are in a position where you feel awkward, and I've had so many awkward conversations, but it gets easier, especially if you just show up and you start meeting people. So the 2 biggest networking things that have worked for me is, 1, don't be a jerk, be nice. Keep showing up and just be friendly. And don't worry about it. That's about the only thing that I could tell you. I know a lot of people at Heroes now. Usually at this point, no matter where I go to a show, I know somebody. So, but it is definitely a challenge to try and get out. And you typically are not going to find work at a show. Typically, I mean that's pretty rare. You're more there to establish relationships, and don't always try to seal the deal and be that businessy person, especially after a show, because creators after the show are tired. I mean, we've been sitting there, and whether it's a writer or an editor, whoever, you've been basically, keep in mind, if you're trying to break into comics, you want to meet people, that's fine. But just remember that typically after the show, after everybody's gone to eat and they're at the hotel bar, they're tired, because you go to the show from 10 or 11 to 7, sometimes 8. Some shows go late. especially Friday and Saturday. So just keep that in mind. I know that's not really very profound or advice that, nothing that's going to unlock anything for you except just stick in there and keep showing up. So that's at least been my tactic, because that's about all I can do. I mean, early on, that's about all I could do. I mean, now, like I said, it's paid off in that I do know people, and I got more confident over time too. So now I'm going to try and finish these commissions. And I meant to get a haircut before the show, but I don't think I'm going to have time because of the commissions and G.I. Joe and other thing. So I got a lot to do. So I'm going to get off here. I will try to do a warm-up drawing tomorrow, 10:30 in the morning. So I should be live then. And until then, I will see you. Oh, and before I forget, if you haven't subscribed, click the little button down here, little icon, and subscribe. I've had quite a few new subscribers, so welcome everybody. Thanks for watching, and now I will see you tomorrow.